So what's going on guys, Kids here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you the best Black Desert tier list in 2024. This game in general has huge amount of fun and overpowered classes to play, and we have a very unique variety to choose from. But the big question is, which classes are actually good for the specific activities that you wanna do? So I've done a bunch of testing, and each class will be ranked by the character's movement, then by the playable difficulty and learning curve, then by the overall damage and speed while grinding, and then lastly by the APM, aka the actions per minute, and much more. So if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. And then just before we start, I want to introduce you to today's video sponsor, woosa Remote. So by using woosa Remote, you will be able to control your PC with your phone whenever you want. And the best thing about it is that the software is completely free to download for Windows, iOS and Android. And you will be able to enjoy your PC games on your phone. They even support gameplay for up to 144 FPS. And on top of all of this, you will be able to work on your PC remotely, then screen mirror, then even control Android devices with the software and much more. As you can see, I can play Genshin, Dota, Minecraft and many more games. And with their smart keyboard and layouts, you will be able to add and customize the keyboard on your phone and enjoy AFK gaming anytime, anywhere. They also offer great prices, and you can get up to 40% off on your purchase. woosa Remote have also launched a smart power plug that will allow you to wake up your PC, which makes the remote access more accessible. So what are you waiting for? Check out woosa Remote by clicking my link in the description, and don't forget to use this code to get 7-day free trial, but be quick, because only the first 200 people will be able to redeem the code. And with that said, thanks to woosa Remote for sponsoring this video. So then moving over to the first class, which is the maegu, and she gets to be in the S tier. So this class is a dual wielder that performs a flurry of spectacular spells that will turn the world to red. She can cast a variety of ranged attacks through spells using her Fox Spirit charm, or scatter the charm around her to deal explosive melee damage. As her name suggests, her agility is akin to a fox, thus she is nimble in evading attacks from her enemies. From time to time she will unleash attacks together with her Fox Spirit, so underestimating her delicate movement will have some serious consequences. For the best performance, I recommend in the endgame to choose the Succession, because this will allow your character to gain even more powerful spells. This class can even swap positions with her fake double clone. So if you're looking for that magic trickster type of gameplay, then this is the class for you. So then going over to the second class, which I will put at the S tier, and it is the woosa. She uses her fan-induced stave as a main weapon, which summons butterflies. Woosa is a mid to melee range class, whose attacks can be split into melee attacks by delivering quick strikes with her folded fan, and an area of effect attacks, which is performed by the mixing do arts with her fan spread attack. Woosa's do arts utilize a butterfly motif, and she can summon a huge storm from the beating wings of a butterfly. She can also conjure rain clouds upon bright blue skies, among other do arts. Like the gently fluttering wings of a butterfly, she graces around the battlefield, overwhelming her enemies with combos as smooth as the flowing water. So if you're looking for a unique and overpowered class, then in the endgame go with the Succession woosa and have fun. So then moving over to the next class, which is the witch, and we want to put her right next to the woosa. This class focuses the powers of fire, ice, wind, lightning, earth and other elements on her staff to burn, freeze and just overall obliterate her enemies. No one can match her ability to rain down devastation in just few seconds. She is also able to use skills to jump through space, and either recover the health and resource of her allies or increase their defense. Her versatility in battle makes her an extremely important asset to have on your side. For the best performance, I recommend to use the Awakening Witch, and as this class is perfect choice for pretty much all activities in the game, then this one should be a no-brainer to go with if your playstyle is more oriented towards ranged magic. So then for the fourth class we have the Berserker, and he gets to be in the S tier. Berserker instills fear in his enemies with a battle axe in each hand, and various grabs to stop them in their tracks. His big axe simply eviscerates enemies, with grab skills that ensure that the Berserker is a threat to anyone that crosses his path. The sheer chaos they bring to the battlefield is massive. But the heart of his class power lies in his versatility. He can check up enemy bases, protect allies, do massive melee damage and much more. So then for the best performance, go with the Succession Berserker, and if you're looking for a typical melee bruiser playstyle, then here you go. So then for the next class we have the Ninja, and he gets to be in the S tier. Ninjas use their short sword as their main weapon, and can choose between two sub-weapons. This is an assassin class that uses the shuriken to go completely offensive, or the kunai for more defense. This class combines ninjutsu and stealth to appear behind their enemies, and in an instant deliver a fatal blow. Few, if any, can withstand a barrage of attacks from the ninja, and unlike other classes, the ninja cannot block attacks, so it is best for the ninja players to stay hidden as long as they can, and go in for the kill when they're certain that they will succeed. I personally prefer the Succession Ninja because most of our skills stay the same, but they get improved tenfold. So if you want to be a stealthy assassin, then this is the class for you. So then moving over to the next one, which is the Guardian, and we want to include her right next to the previous class. The Guardian is personally one of my most played classes, and it is very beginner friendly, with low APM but still massive amounts of damage. Most of the time I can just relax and with few clicks, easily grind big amount of monster groups. The Guardian is similar to the Berserker, as she charges headlong into the battle, taking advantage of her tough fortitude, and grabs skills that allow her to grab enemies' throats and slam them on the ground with her shield and finish them with her battle axe. I personally love the Succession Guardian, and if you're like other new players and looking for a powerful but beginner friendly class, then here you go. So then moving over to the last and final S tier class, and it is the Mystic. So she is an agile martial artist who wears gauntlets and vambrace to protect her arms. She performs pummeling her enemies with a barrage of strikes, as opposed to a single but powerful blow. She takes physical hand-to-hand combat to an extreme and destroys her enemies with a quick grab closing movement to debuff or cripple the enemy and gain the upper hand. If you played Lost Ark, then this is your typical Scrapper or War Dancer class, as almost all movement skills are purely punches and kicks. So if this is what you're looking for, then in the endgame choose the Awakening Mystic and good luck. So then moving over to the next class, which is the Shai, and we want to include her right in the A tier. So Shai is a support class that has both combat and buff abilities. They have good basic evasion and are fast and nimble when evading and attacking their enemies. The main weapon of the Shai is the giant boomerang, which is used for combat. She also has a second mystical sub-weapon called the valkyrie, which is used to heal and protect Shai herself and their allies. With all of this said, this support class is great but not very strong in PvP content, so you have to be careful about your movement, and usually your teammates tend to focus on protecting the Shai player. So overall, if you want to be a powerful support main, then Shai is the class for you. So then for the ninth class we have the maewha, and we want to include her right in the A tier. Maewha uses a blade and horn bow as her weapon. She is an agile swordsman that is not afraid to getting close and disrupt her target in an instant. Like other classes, she can use the skill chase to take the initiative and use many different types of combos. After firing a shot at the enemies from the range with her bow, she can then get close to the enemies and crush them with her elegant skills. She is especially effective against small groups or single target. For the best result, I recommend to use the Succession. So if you want to have that mystic close range gameplay, but at the same time have the ability of the ranged bow, then this class is the best of both worlds. So then moving over to the next class, which is the Ranger, and we want to put her right next to the maewha. The Ranger, as the name implies, is a range class that uses the longbow and the dagger as her main weapon. She has skills that make the advantage of her dexterity, and she can rain arrows down on her foes, then follow that up with more attacks, or perhaps back away from them in an instant. She lacks the ability to shield herself, but her movement skills keep her at a safe distance away from the enemies. Her main skills are extremely useful during a siege warfare and other large-scale battles. So if you are a PvP player, then for sure go with the Ranger Awakening class, and just stay in your team's backline and do massive amounts of damage. So then moving over to the next class, which is the Dark Knight, and she gets to be right next to the Ranger. So DK wields its lethal but beautiful dark magic sword. Her power as a magical swordsman comes from amplifying the energy of spirits, and she can attack both in front of and beside her enemies, dashing between them and rendering them all helpless with instantaneous and decisive blow. Despite being a melee class, she cannot take a lot of hits, so for protection you have to block attacks with your sword or focus more on ranged gameplay. Overall, the best is the Awakening DK, and if you want to have a fun and engaging melee combat but with less hit and smash but more assassin type of playstyle, then this is the class for you. So then going over to the next class, which is the Tamer, and she gets to be placed right in the A tier. The Tamer wields a short sword and a trinket. There are two sets of Tamer skills. One is based on the Eastern martial arts, and another one which makes full use of the Huekling strength. When she performs certain skills with the Huekling is summoned, the Huekling will attack together with you, which will perform a double combo. My personal choice is the Succession Tamer, and if you want to summon pets and use a hybrid between martial arts and a melee combat, then this is the one for you. So then moving over to the next one, which is the Striker class, and we want to include him right next to the Tamer. The Striker's physical powers makes his body itself a deadly weapon. With a gauntlet and a vambrace to protect his fists and arms, he can combo multiple skills so naturally that it looks like a single endless skill. No matter what skills he may be using, his movement always flows together like water, whether they be grabs, knockups or any of his other numerous techniques. For the most optimized performance, use the Awakening Striker, and if you want to be a powerful melee character with a golden gauntlet that will destroy all the enemies up close and personal, then this is the class for you, so enjoy! Then moving over to the next one, which is the Lahn, and she gets to be right in the A tier. This class is so elegant that it seems as if she is dancing while she is twirling her crescent pedalum and a noble sword. Her elaborate movements allows her to reach far away enemies in an instant or get out of their harm's way. She can also dash through the sky for a short amount of time. She can even switch between the crescent pendulum to hit larger areas, and then swap to the noble sword to wave through the enemies and create openings to slice them, clearing large packs in mere seconds. I recommend to use the Succession Lahn, and overall, if you're looking for a unique gameplay and very fast melee combat style, then I for sure recommend to try this one out, as this is one of my main classes in BDO. So then going over to one of the last A tier classes, and it is the Nova. This class wields a morning star and a shield, which contains powers of the distorted goddess. Nova can attack from mid-range to melee. Her shield covers her body like an iron fortress, and she can flatten distant enemies with her morning star. She can also command her spirit guards to attack, while she remains fortified behind her giant shield. She can effortlessly combine offensive and defensive tactics to overwhelm her enemies. So as you can tell, this is one of the best and most fun tank classes in the game. And if you want to absorb all the damage very easily, then go with the Succession Nova and have fun. So then moving over to the next one, which is the Valkyrie, and we want to include her right next to the Nova. Valkyrie wields the one-handed longsword and a shield, and she excels at both offense and defense. She is less mobile than other classes, but she can deal an incredible burst of damage to anything that comes within her range. She is also great at healing or protecting her allies. Valkyrie is great in the front line, but her true strength lies in the middle of her allies. So if you're looking for the best hybrid support / melee bruiser class, then this is the one and only for you. And of course, for the best results, choose the Succession. So then for the next class, we have the Sage, and we want to include him right in the A tier. So Sage wields the Kaiv as a weapon of his own creation, and a talisman which he controls with his own magic to freely move between points in space. He wields his infinite power of the Kaiv, which instantly alters the space to inflict devastating damage upon his enemies. If you suddenly get attacked by the enemy, then you can quickly unleash a blast, push them away, or use a variety of magics, such as shifting his form to escape from the danger and much more. This class is very fun and has unique gameplay that takes some time to get used to, but if you want to play a combination between a bruiser with a lot of armor and a mage playstyle with dashes and powerful spells, then this is the class for you. So then for the last and final A tier class, we have the hashashin. This class can swap through the desert foes with ease. His weapon, brimming with sand magic, affords him the ability to manipulate and meld with the sand itself. He's able to disappear and reappear in an instant, or summon countless of whirlwinds to shred his foes with no way to counter him. Some of his skills are just illusions, while others will entrap his foes, leaving them defenseless, to be mercilessly cut by his own sharpened blade. So what are you waiting for? Pick the Awakening hashashin and don't forget to have fun! So then moving over to the next class, which is the corsair, and she gets to be right in the B tier. So the corsair class is armed with a flexible blade that can change its length at will, and the jewel of the sea that gives your character the power of the tides. No one is quite as spontaneous as the corsair. When she glides about using her rope maneuvers only to suddenly whip out her blade and strike at her enemies at their most vulnerable moment. Using the mysterious powers of the maegu, Corsair can transform into a mermaid, with the ability to summon gigantic waves to crush her enemies. For the highest damage, I recommend to use the Succession, and if you're looking for one-of-a-kind type of class that most other games don't have, then this is the one for you. So then for the next class, we have the sorceress, and we will put her right next to the corsair. The sorceress is an elusive class that uses an amulet and a talisman to use dark magic. She deceives and confuses her enemies by closing the gap quickly to deal a powerful blow, and then she dodges away when the situation starts to look dire. This gives her a great survivability while also constantly disrupting her enemies. She may be harder to play than other classes, but she can be much more deadly in combat. So if you're looking for more advanced melee to ranged mage class, then go with the Succession and good luck. Then for the next one, we have the almighty warrior that gets to be placed right in the B tier. Warrior is your typical good guy melee fighter that takes the advantage of his physical strength by executing skills while wielding a one-handed longsword and a shield. When he charges into the heat of the battle, he can grab and smash his enemies, or deliver a swift and mighty strike with his longsword. He can also absorb hits on the front line with his shield. He is an extremely versatile fighter on the battlefield who can get through even the toughest of the situations. For the best performance, pick the Awakening Warrior, and if in all games you always play the melee fighter with a sword class, then this is the one for you. Then for one of the last B tier classes, we have the kunoichi. This class uses a short sword as her main weapon and can choose between kunai or shuriken for a sub-weapon. She is an assassin class that strikes fear into her enemies. Although she is not the one to lie in wait for a perfect one-shot kill, she'll make full use of her kunai to keep enemies at bay and block attacks, and can go even into the stealth to look for an opening. At the right moment, she can close in and deal immense amount of damage. It can be difficult finding the right time to go in with the kunoichi. She does not stop until her target is destroyed. So if you like the previous assassin classes, but you wanted more versatility, and not to be very squishy and have to use stealth 24/7, then this class is the perfect hybrid for you. So go with the Succession in the endgame and have fun. And then for the last and final B tier class, we have the Drakania. Her shard gathers ions from the air around her, which then she uses to dash around the battlefield, maintaining a mid to ranged advantage, or she redirects the energy to her weapon, wielding them both in a terrifying combination, enabling her to recover quickly from an injury. Just a single swing of her slayer brings utter destruction, while her shard surreptitiously steals her opponent's energy to use as her own. This class is good and fun to play, but not made equal for all activities in the game. So, for the best results, go with the Succession and good luck. Then for the next class, we have the Musa, and he gets to be placed right in the C tier. Musa enters battle with his blade and horn bow. He's a master of Eastern martial arts, extremely quick and great with skill combos. He's able to take the initiative due to his speed. This allows him to dominate and remain the predator, not the prey. Rather than facing multiple enemies at a time, he's better suited to target a single enemy's weakness, with a quick strike and retreat playstyle. This gives him a unique style in causing confusion with a hit and run tactics. and of course, he can do the highest single target damage in the game. So if you're looking for a one-trick type of pony playstyle with the main focus on a single target damage, then this is the class for you. So then for the next class we have the wizard, which gets to be placed right in the C tier. Wizard class crushes his foes using the power of the natural element, which he gathers with his staff. He is a true master who can harness the power of a gigantic fireball, lightning strikes and a howling blizzard with ease. He is a walking powerhouse and is even able to use this magic to cover his weakness in close quarter combat. He can also protect himself or allies within an area. He may be slow on his feet, but his magic even makes it possible to leap through space and surprise enemies with a thrust of his dagger. For the best results, go with the Awakening Wizard, and if you're looking for a purely ranged magic gameplay, then this is the one for you. And then for the last and final class, we have the Archer, that gets to be placed right in the D tier. Archer's crossbow was designed to be attached to his arm so that he can move freely and swiftly, while Ragon is a special glove that allows him to bring out the power of the light. He has refined skills to be able to move swiftly, while maintaining a deadly accuracy to overtake his enemies. Archer never stops moving while raining bolts upon his foes. He can also concentrate his power to launch a powerful shot. This class may be in the lowest tier, but it doesn't mean that it's very bad. But on the contrary, this class is decent but takes way too much time to master, and has a very one type of ranged playstyle, which is very hard to adjust for most activities in the game. But if you want to be different and try on in a challenge, then Archer may be for you, so try it out and have fun.